Now, I want to play this piece. There's so much tape here on this, so much. And it's very rich and very deep. I think the best piece of tape here for me to play is this new Kamala Harris advertisement. Again, she's sitting on like $1 billion. She's raised a ton of money. She might be not sitting on $1 billion, but she's raised $1 billion. And they're panicking. So they're throwing everything they can up against a wall to try to win back men. And let me tell you, this is not how you win back men. This video is a mockery. I thought it was a parody. I thought this was done by the Babylon Bee. I thought this was done by AI as some sort of mockery of the Democrat Party. But no, this is an official advertisement from the Kamala Harris campaign. Are you man enough? Is the name of the advertisement. Let's play cut 141 of a bunch of, I'll let you fill in the words. Play cut 141.
I'm a man.
I'm a man.
I'm a man, man.
And I'm man enough.
I'm man enough to enjoy a barrel-proof bourbon.
Neat.
Man enough to cook my steak rare.
Man enough to deadlift 500, then braid the out of my daughter's hair.
You think I'm afraid to rebuild a carburetor? I eat carburetors for breakfast.
I ain't afraid of bears.
That's what bear hugs are for.
I'll tell you another thing I sure as shit am not afraid of. Women.
I'm not afraid of women.
I'm not afraid of women.
They want to control their bodies? I say go for it.
They want to use IVF to start a family? I'm not afraid of families.
They want to be childless cat ladies?
Have all the cats you want.
Woman wants to be president?
Well, I hope she has the guts to look me right in the eye and accept my full-throated endorsement.
Because I'm man enough to support women.
Man enough to know what kind of donuts I like.
Man enough to admit I'm lost, even when I refuse to ask for directions.
Man enough to not ban young women from reading Little Women.
Or one of those pants books that the sisters like.
I'm man enough to raw dog a flight. It sucked. Not worth it.
I'm man enough to be emotional in front of my wife.
In front of my kids.
In front of my horse. I'm man enough to tell you that I cry at Love Actually. Good Will Hunting.
West Side Story.
That and Predator.
And I'm sick of so-called men domineering, belittling, and controlling women just so they can feel more powerful. That's not how my mama raised me.
I love women.
I love women who support their families.
Women who decide not to have families.
Women who take charge.
And I'm man enough to help them win.
I mean, I have so much to say to that. The first thing I'll say is, was that a political advertisement or like a disciplinary lecture from some DEI purple-haired 45-year-old pre-diabetic woman in college saying, are you not man enough to vote for Harris Walls? Don't you cry in front of your girlfriend? That was written by women. The Democrat Party is all a bunch of scolds. But here's the thing. That right there is a mark of a losing campaign. You don't make a video like that if you're confident you're standing. That is a screed is what that is. That is like, why aren't you voting for us, men? Let's have AI try to come up with some sort of language processing. Now, we talked yesterday how the Democrat Party is currently in a state of panic. Now, while they are in a state of panic, you should not celebrate. You should get more concerned and work harder and drive more votes because the panic will actually tighten the race. Panic is the life force of the modern Democrat Party. Panic is what keeps them going. Panic is how they raise more money. Panic is how they knock on more doors. The more they panic, the closer this race will be. I will say it again. The more they panic, the closer this race will be. And they decided to deploy Barack Hussein Obama to Pittsburgh yesterday. And Barack Obama, in his typical cool guy way, was talking to the brothers. Now, that's his quote that I am using. The black men that are increasingly rejecting Kamala Harris. They're seeing it in the data. Men of all racial backgrounds, of all ages, of all backgrounds want nothing to do with Kamala Harris, and for good reason. No real man can or should vote for Kamala Harris. She hates you. Her agenda will belittle you, will disempower you. And Barack Obama is seeing this in the data, and he singles out black men. Now, this is a long tape, and it's very, very important. They deployed Barack Obama, obviously on camera. They knew this was going to go viral, to talk to the brothers out there. Now, let me just give the Democrats some advice. You obviously don't know how to talk to men. This is the most femboy, effeminate, low testosterone, soy boy approach of how to talk to men. You talk to men like you do in a football locker room. Direct. You challenge them. You tell them what they ought to do. You talk about duty. You talk about honor. You talk about the pursuit of greatness. He talks to them as if they are in a group therapy session with a bunch of middle-aged, drug-addicted women. They wonder why they're losing men? Well, Barack Obama's not exactly a great example of an American strong man. Now, I'm not going to make this entire show about Barack Obama, of which I'm not a fan, but just look at his body mannerisms. He's kind of just in the corner, kind of just slunched over. This is not a man that you want to have lead into combat. It's certainly not a man that if he was shot would rise up and say, fight, fight, fight. Let's play cut 138 of Barack Obama doing the struggle session, the group therapy session, if you will. Play cut 138.
We have not yet seen the same kinds of energy and turnout in all quarters of our neighborhoods and communities as we saw when I was running. Now, I also want to say that that seems to be more pronounced with the brothers. So if you don't mind, just for a second, I'm going to speak to y'all directly and say that when you have a choice that is this clear, when on the one hand you have somebody who grew up like you, knows you, went to college with you, understands the struggles and pain and joy that comes from those experiences. He's had to work harder and do more and overcome and achieves the second highest office in the land.
Why does it feel like the black men are in trouble with the principal? It feels as if they were like called in the principal's office. Come on, guys. Let me lecture you here. Let me tell you what's wrong. Now, again, Obama won 2 presidential elections. Obviously, one of the more gifted politicians of our lifetime. But no joke. You have to live in reality with this stuff. But man, his effort to bail out the Kamala campaign is so sad. He thinks that he can just lecture black men into turning out. You can't. You don't shame and lecture men into turning out. They obviously do not understand the state that men are in of all backgrounds, black, Hispanic, and white. And they certainly don't understand how to motivate them. And he's just kind of like, I got to be honest, Obama's heart's not into this. Obama was kind of struggling on how to make the case for Kamala Harris because deep down Barack Obama knows it's a tough sell. What's the sell? Yeah, she grew up like you, y'all. And by the way, what's with this y'all thing? You're from Chicago, grew up in Hawaii. Like, wait, what is this y'all thing? You went to school in the Northeast. Like, I get it if you're talking in Georgia, but you're talking to a bunch of guy in Pittsburgh. What is this whole y'all thing? Can someone please tell me? Email me, freedom@charliekirk.com. I understand the code switching. Like, I totally get that. The Democrats do that. Kamala Harris unveiled her Hispanic accent the other day. It was really amazing, actually. What is this whole y'all thing? Obama feels like a fossil. Politics is totally different. He became a star 20 years ago. It's like a guy that was, I'm trying to think. It was like when Michael Jordan was on the Washington Wizards. And I'm not comparing Barack Obama to Michael Jordan because I don't think Obama and Michael Jordan are the same level of excellence. But it's just kind of sad. It's like not the same thing. The young voters that Democrats are losing were just toddlers when Obama was elected. And you could tell with the black men in that room, they're kind of just getting lectured and they're like, yeah, I'm not buying it. There's only like 8 of them. And they're not buying it for a very simple reason. The American male is rising and they're rejecting the kind of femme boss tyranny that we are living under. They are embracing the conservative agenda that acknowledges that they are men and that strong men are necessary for a strong society. And the hyper-feminization of American culture is going to be met with a repudiation. And what's the best they have? They have Obama kind of quietly lecturing you in Southern parlance. Y'all gotta get behind Kamala. Just understand, his sales pitch was she grew up like y'all and she understands y'all. That's the sales pitch? No, these men are saying, no, you don't understand, Mr. Obama. The entire culture is against us. And I will say this as crisply and succinctly. If you are a man, you're already thinking about this election probably correctly, but you know this. If you're a man, you have a moral obligation to vote against Kamala Harris. You have a moral obligation as a man to protect masculinity and the survival of men to defeat the Democrat Party and elect Trump.
Hey, everybody, remember to subscribe right down here to get all of our latest breaking news and campus debates, and share these videos with a voter who is on the fence. Check out the Charlie Kirk Show podcast and like this video, and then also put a comment down there that might trigger the libs. These videos are going super viral, millions and millions and millions and millions of views. So don't forget to check it out on my other social media platforms and hit a comment right now and subscribe. This channel might save the country thanks to you guys. Thanks so much.